All right, I have to talk about this. When I watch Daigo play against Urien, I don't understand it. I think in this matchup generally, I like Guile when he does nothing. But I feel like Daigo is the opposite in this matchup. He almost is always attacking and just going after people, and he's trying to murder you. So for that reason, I feel like he puts himself in complicated situations.
As he can possibly be, so we're gonna see how he faces.
Yeah, I'll run an ad after this. All right, so this is where I feel like this character really excels, right? Although Urien's new V skill helps him deal with the fireballs, I think if Guile does Sonic Boom and if Urien jumps, he down charges and he flash kicks, I think this is the way that the matchup is like most stable for Guile. You know what I mean? It's the most stable. Did you see that, by the way? That was an early matchup knowledge check from Shuto. Let me talk about this. Crouching medium punch on block, right? What is this? I always mention it because nobody swings after. It's 0. Which means that every character in the game can just hit a button after. That's not plus. Don't let Urien stagger off this button. He does crouching medium punch, and then he does roundhouse. Why does he do roundhouse after? Well, it pulls Urien's hurt box back. So he's hoping that if Guile does reversal crouching jab to check on 0, right? Because it's 4 frames, so their jabs will trade. He's hoping that if Daigo does crouching jab, his roundhouse will pull him back and slap him. That right there is... You know, he's looking for it. He's testing Daigo to see if he'll challenge early. It's just a little test. It's just to see, right? He knows that Daigo knows. That's one of the most important parts about this matchup for Urien, by the way. This standing medium punch right here, buffered into tackle, is huge. It's really good at catching the startup of boom hurt boxes. So let me rewind to right when it connects. It's really good at catching boom hurt boxes. It's really good for catching the expanded normals from Guile or whatever. But you can see that the boom hurt box is pretty fat, right? And you can stuff it before it starts up. It's fantastic. It's fantastic as adamantium dropping the big stuff. It's really good. Yeah, delayed crouching medium kick was to try to frame trap. Daigo just backdashes, gets air flipped out. He's in a good position for it. Oh, this is really bad for Shuto. Losing the corner in this matchup, this is brutal. Because your best way out is like knee drop or jump, and you just flash kick it. So like, you know what I mean? Sweep. Yeah, this is really bad. Dead. Getting cornered there by Guile as Urien is brutal. Your best chance is to try to EX knee drop, and even then, oftentimes you get flash kicked. So, pretty rough. Yeah, Shuto was top 8 at TGS last year. He was in SFL. He's a really good player. One thing I like from Daigo, by the way, in this matchup is he does, so I mentioned that in this matchup, Guile's really strong at just throwing booms and contesting. He does a good job of mixing up his timing. Although Urien is the aggressor, that means he has to chase, right? And if he has to chase Daigo, Daigo will walk up and challenge when Urien is trying to do stuff to stuff Sonic Boom, right? So if Urien is trying to run forward, Daigo's going to hit buttons to check him. If Urien's trying to throw fireballs, Daigo will use his normals to stuff his opponent's fireballs and stuff like that. Yeah, Shuto's one of the young players. That right there, I like him not trying to anti-air that because it's kind of a weird spot. Spends the meter early. I think you absolutely spend it in a matchup like this, right? There's a lot of discussion about spending meter and stuff in this matchup, or in general, and spending early critical art. This is an example of a matchup where I think if you're Guile and you get a hit and you have 90% or 100% of your life, you should spend critical art every time. The reason being is the best position on screen for you is right here. This is an advantageous position on screen for Guile. By spending this resource, he gets a huge swing of damage, and he gets room on the screen to work against Urien. And in this case, he approached. But also, look at his meter. Daigo's already working on 1 meter here. He's about to have 1 bar, which gives him EX flash kick if he gets, pressured. It means that he has EX Sonic Boom to use on defense to get out of situation. Like right there, he could have done jab EX Boom to get space. He's in a great spot. And he's already about to build the 2nd meter, right? So that's why I think spending it is so worth it. Yeah, he'll die here. EX. And he's actually not quite dead. Yeah, he's not quite dead there. Sweep activate. Look at this. Oh my god, he almost murdered himself. But yeah, look at that. Daigo was about to build another critical art. See that? He's about to build another critical art. Fantastic. Why can Shuto get crouching heavy punch after the stand medium punch on non-counter hit? It hits meaty. That's why. It hits meaty. One thing about Daigo is he's really good about using this down jab into boom. Like this is a punish, obviously, right? I think that's a mistake from Shuto. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if he tried to EX tackle. I don't know what he was doing with the tackle there, but it ended up happening for the one true scrub. The EX boom is such an incredibly strong move. It like backs people up. It's really good in V-trigger. It's really good as a jab check. Daigo is extremely good, maybe the best person I can think of walking back out of opponent's pressure and doing down jab boom. It constantly resets the position, and it's just like one of the best jab buffers in the entire game. Like, yeah, it's absurdly good. Yeah, a meaty stand medium punch from Urien can combo into crouching heavy punch if you hit it later in the active frame. You can try it. Just knock your opponent down with a sweep and then try to do it as a meaty, and you'll see the timing. Counter hit. Shuto's got to work his way in here. Nice. That was really well spaced out. This is something that's important for Urien players to note. Jab medium. This is the target combo. Notice the spacing afterwards. Daigo tries the counter poke, and the charged heavy punch just doesn't, it's perfect. This is an auto space setup, right? You do crouching jab, standing medium, and you do charge heavy punch. And if your opponent tries to poke back with whatever button, because you're negative, then you can catch him. Very easy for him to hit confirm it as well. Oh, that's a punish. Yeah. He has charged fireball, which gives him a very good mix-up as well here. See, now he goes under. That's the nice thing is before, if Urien wanted to mix up like this, a lot of the times he would spend an EX fireball. But having the V-skill fireball means he can kind of do the exact same mix-up off of snap kick you get off EX fireball by just walking under and not having to spend meter. That's such a big win for Urien. Instead of, like, in last season to get that mix-up, that would have been 2 meters, right? EX up fireball into EX tackle. Now, it's only 1. He just spent the EX tackle. Yeah, Devil Reapers. We talked about Daigo training earlier. He's been grinding like every single day. Jumps forward. Urien doesn't have the best anti-air at that angle against Guile a lot of time. He has to be pretty careful. That's a punish. Yeah. Deep jumping. Deep jumping against him there is great as well, right? There's no meter for EX headbutt, so Urien has no answer on wake up. And even if he had meter, the jumping would have been safe to EX headbutt. So I like that option for Daigo as pressure.
Yeah, those are the very small things.
He's kind of, one thing that's happening here is Daigo is kind of committing to a lot of buttons in mid. Yeah, you see that? He's committing to a lot of buttons in mid range to try to catch Shuto coming in. Yeah, one hit kills here. Really safe pressure. He doesn't commit to overhead or anything.
Oh my goodness, yeah, he's got the
just keeping it tight. Jab check, boom. Notice that, yeah, notice that Daigo, when he wants to close out the round, he doesn't walk up and try to like stagger lows. He doesn't walk up and go for overhead. Those things are susceptible to back throw or throw, catching your opponent or mash jab. He just does jabs and he just does like boom. He keeps it really safe. And even in this position here, he backs him up with a boom. He walks up, and as soon as he sees movement, he uses bazooka knee to interrupt. This was like the frame he saw the fireball. He stuffed it.
And of course, the knee, bazooka knee to the gut.
I was clenched.
It was really smart. That's position on screen from Daigo. That was really well done. Yeah, again, that anti-air angle, Urien doesn't have the best answers. EX knee drop over the head, so he's not going to get a punish. It recovers kind of fast.
Daigo is playing so strong right now, sitting on all that meter.
Man, that was really well spaced out, that knee. Notice that Shuto backdashes here. He doesn't want to get stuck in the same spot, right? Where Daigo has well-spaced knees, or poking after is difficult, jab, boom. He backdashes so that he doesn't get reset into the same position, right? He just wants to kind of reset the position, reset the spacing, and then like start figuring out a way in from there, which I think is a good idea. You know what I mean? Again, we saw the standing medium punch here where he's trying to buffer. After the boom, he's trying to buffer standing medium punch to catch Daigo swinging. Daigo whiffs a jab and then comes in like this. So Daigo had the right idea on baiting him. He whiffed the jab. Shuto does standing medium punch. As a reaction, he sees a move and he goes, "Oh, I gotta hit a button to try to whiff punish that." And then Daigo almost counter pokes him correctly. It's the right idea. Yeah, I don't know what that was. He just missed whatever he tried. Anti-airing. Oh, that's dizzy. That's the kill, actually, with critical art here.
This is dead. This is dead. Is this gonna kill? I say yes.
This does grip of damage, yeah.
There you go.
I mean, you got 10% life left or 5% life left when your opponent has critical art. It doesn't matter how low the scaling gets on critical art, it just always kills you.
give Urien that one opening, he can make you pay for it.
That's how it works. Works for the Big Ten, smackaroo.
Thanks for covering this godlike
Daigo's a beast, dude.
I'm so glad Daigo finally could clutch and win the tourney.
Yeah, I feel like everybody's happy when Daigo wins. You know what I mean? It just feels like it cheers everybody up. Everybody's like, yeah, Street Fighter. There's something about Daigo winning that makes people feel that way. So last match, a couple of things to notice. Man, that was beautiful. This start of the match sequence is great. This happened earlier where Daigo throws a boom. It clashes with Urien projectile. He tries to use like forward heavy punch after, either to punish or to contest whatever Urien does after. And Shuto, you know, the thing in this matchup is a lot of the times as Urien, you have to approach, you have to chase. But Daigo, he doesn't always let you do that. He kind of comes up and tries to throw hands on the ground. And because of that, it gives opportunities like this, where Shuto can whiff punish. You know what I mean? Counter hit. Oh, that should have been tackle, not fireball. Brutal. That loss in positioning right there is incredibly important in this round. Yeah. So the difference between counter hit confirming correctly here, like, this could have been heavy tackle, into the corner, point blank mix up, one hit or counter hit will stun. You know what I mean? That was the difference. Doing fireball here resets the positioning. It allows Daigo to find this back heavy punch, and then look at this space. It seems like a small, and then the jump gets, yeah, it seems like a small error. Like, oh, he did crouching medium punch into fireball instead of tackle. Okay, he still got the combo. It seems like a small error, but the loss in positioning in the corner there is tremendous. All right, that's huge. Look at this. We're on the opposite side of the screen already. Like, Shuto lost all of this space. Jab boom again. Daigo, the best person ever at using jab boom. Punish, stun. That's the round. One drop. One mistake from Shuto really cost him there.
Oh god, he's still alive. Oh no, Urien is still alive.
Yeah, I mean, that's brutal. Just one little drop, right? One moment where you make a small mistake can really swing around like this. And swing generic soda, dropping the big sub. It's brutal, right? Anti-air? Yeah. There's not much you can do in that position. It's kind of like fireball's check and the sweep's mate. You know what I'm saying? You just put him in check. You're like, what are you going to do here? Neutral jump the fireball? Yeah. That was a good EX headbutt to try to get through the fireball. It's unfortunate that it didn't reach all the way, but... Again, yeah, Shuto, I think I don't love down block there. I think he should walk forward if he's going to commit to nothing.
Anti-air, so that's going to give Shuto a big chance for but that's punishable. Yeah, he didn't even cancel to the EX fireball like you're supposed to when that crouch
yeah, this is a bad spot for Shuto here. He could have linked mirror off the crouching medium punch. Pop. Get the mix up again. Second mirror is a threat. Yeah, but he just flash kicks it. That mirror doesn't do very much damage. So even though Daigo cracks me up, even though he gets bounced 3 times here and it lets him get a V skill, I mean, look at the damage the mirror does, right? It's not like this is some big damage swing here. It's a little bit of damage. Clashes. Daigo goes for the sweep here. The sweep is risky. This is a very risky sweep. If the fireball hit, this isn't like Aegis where it's low hit stun. If the fireball hits, it's pretty big. Like, Urien could have comboed off this.
6-3 with hydraulics out there. We're gonna activate.
But he hit a button, so. Yeah, an EX knee drop. An important move in this matchup. You know, it's always a threat. It's extremely fast. If you do it right when he throws a boom, it'll punish the boom. It's difficult to deal with. Now, you know, I talked a lot about Daigo initiating and bringing the action to Shuto and being aggressive in this matchup. I feel like this round is really the round where he completely changes pace. And I think this is something that is very difficult to do for players, but very impressive when you do it at the right time in the right match. They're 1-1 last round, right? It's 2 out of 3 because we're not in top 8 yet. And there's a really big change in pace from Daigo. Like, in this round, I feel like he initiates much less. Jab check. Like, he kind of just throws booms and he chills out a lot. You see what I mean? Like, in other rounds, it feels like he would have attacked there. But in this round, it's a lot more booms. A very safe check. He's kind of waiting, right? You see what I mean? Like, he's not doing as much on the ground as he was in the other rounds. He's just playing very reactive. And this change of pace in the last match, or in the last round, is very important. Because he's giving Shuto a completely different look than he did in every other round. He waits for the sweep. Even like this moment, right? Even in this moment where Shuto sweeps, he does a button, he waits a second, he sweeps. In other rounds, Daigo would have blocked that and then done an upside down kick forward. You know what I mean? He would have swung after, but Daigo just waits. This entire round, he just chooses to be reactive, right? He's not really over pressing. He's just waiting. He's not committing to a lot on the ground even. That's like the first dash we saw the entire round. He did his game plan 180'd the entire round. He just sat there and waited. He let Shuto make mistakes. He let Shuto be the aggressor. When Shuto thought to himself, wow, he's really playing so defensive this round. I have to make the comeback. There's the dash. Right? It was a complete 180 from the way he played the rest of the matchup. He was so aggressive. He was constantly moving forward. He's constantly checking him, initiating. Then the last round, he just played a completely different style. And if you're Shuto, you've been playing Daigo, you've been getting used to him. It's 1-1, last round, last situation. All of a sudden, he starts out with just this slow, methodical, waiting style. It's a very different look, and it's very hard to deal with. It's also very difficult to change your style on a dime like that, right? To play, you know, two and a half games. You know, you're on your third game here. You play all this whole time, and you're playing extremely aggressive, fast-paced, slugging, and then all of a sudden 180. That is a really difficult thing to do. But very impressive from Daigo nonetheless. It's one of the things that, like, really good players have styles that are built into their muscle memory that they can switch into, right? So making a style switch like that is all in the brain. You just remind yourself, like, all right, this round I'm going to play in this way. And if you have that style in your, you know, your body, if you can do it, then you can just make the switch. Urien looks dead in this frame. It's like 2:40 in the morning probably at this point. So yeah, I'm not surprised.